Hello everyone and welcome back to another shop critique. Now today we are doing Little Bird Craft Party and I can't remember what your name was. You did leave it somewhere. Let me just see if I can find out. I couldn't find it after. Susie. Hello Susie, I'm very sorry Susie. So today we are critiquing Susie's shop, Little Bird Craft Party. Now, I'm going to try and keep this as short as I can. The last, four I've done have been either just under an hour, 40 minutes, some have even been over an hour. So I'm going to try and keep this as short as I can because I know that you don't want to sit there and listen to me blab for an hour. So let's get right into it. So, Susie, as a customer coming into your shop, what is your brand? Okay. Now you have your logo here. I assume this is your logo. Tell me, what is your brand? Most shops, they have a banner up here. Now, I don't know whether or not sort of technical issues are sort of stopping you from making a Etsy shop banner, but this banner acts as the sign above your door. So you have to pretend that your shop is a physical brick and mortar store. And essentially the banner in your Etsy shop is the sign above your door. If you're not sure on how to make a shop banner, if you head to Canva, so Canva, canva.com, you can actually go. Now I made one for the previous shop owner critique that I did. If you go up to here, and you just type in Etsy, it comes up with Etsy shop cover. Click that and you come up with a perfectly sized banner. It has lots of templates to the left hand side, but really this has to fit in with your branding. So let's just say, you have something like this. You can change the text, move it around, change the color of that, color of this, the font, etc, etc. Make sure that you create a shop banner that actually fits in with your target customer. Now we'll talk about that later on. But as a shopper coming into your shop, I sort of get an idea that, maybe you do origami. Obviously you don't, having looked at your shop. Maybe you do paper craft. The word party is in there somewhere. So basically, as a customer, now a lot of customers are very visual, they don't read, so I know that you have like this little bit here and I understand why, but as a customer I need to immediately go into your shop and I need to be attracted to it if I'm your target customer. So maybe revisit your branding, at the very least just sort of do a shop banner just so people coming into your shop immediately know, okay, this shop is blue, it does party bits and bobs, all that kind of stuff. You've also got this little black bit on your logo here. I had this on mine the first time I uploaded it. I think you can adjust the crop, like if you go into the excuse me, if you go into the back end of Etsy and you go to upload it again and just click and drag it, I think that gets rid of it. I'm not sure. Mine was a right pain. It took me ages to work it out. So you're in Reading and you've had 105 sales. That's not far from me actually. You've had 105 sales, which is fantastic. Well done. You've been on Etsy since 2017, so you know your stuff when it comes to Etsy. You probably know how to list and all that sort of stuff. This little line here, now Etsy used to call this your tagline. Now, they don't call it, I'm just going to make sure I'm still recording, yes I am. I don't think they call it a tagline now, but this is very SEO heavy. So this is actually what Google uses to rank your shop. So make sure that you put keywords that you want to rank for. If you're not sure, go to Google, type in a searches, just really get a good sort of list of keywords that you want to rank for. You can also change this season by season. So say it's sort of Christmas time, say it's October and you think, right, now's the time to get my Christmas SEO in. You can actually change that to Christmas party accessories and decorations. Obviously, the searches for Christmas party decorations and accessories are going to be increased at that time of year, so you can absolutely change this as the seasons go. So you have your logo here. This, I know that this is technically called your tagline, but make sure you have an actual business tagline. Now, this could be something as simple as Little Bird Craft Party, accessories to make your day pop, as you've sort of done there. You have to make sure that it sticks in the customer's mind, it's short, it's snappy, and it sort of accurately describes what it is that you do. So let's just have a little look at my notes. So your number of items. Now, I'm going to say this with love, but I don't think that's enough items. I know that it's really hard for creators to find the time to make listings. That's the word I was looking for. I'm not quite sure why that took me so long. I know it can be hard for creators to make listings, and if this is a side hustle, it can be really, really hard. But what I'm saying is you don't have to spend all the time in the world making new products. You can actually use the products that you already have. So you can actually bundle things, you can create gift packs, all in the name of making as many listings as you can, and therefore using as many different keywords as you can. So, for example, you could, here we go. So you could bundle that and that together, make a new listing, keyword it as such, call it a mermaid party kit. You could bundle. You could bundle that and that, and do the exact same thing. You could even make that different colours, make that a new listing. I'm not saying you have to create brand new things, but just get as many listings in there as you can. And then that means that you can keyword each listing differently to get more chances of being found. So I see your categories here. These are also SEO heavy, so just make sure that you do these as such. And you've just got garlands and Christmas in here. As a shopper, I would be thinking, is this Christmas? If I'm looking for a Christmas cake topper, I'm not going to be going into the Christmas category. I'm probably just going to be going into here and being like, oh, they obviously don't do them. Okay, and clicking out again. Maybe revisit your categories and sort of think ahead of what products you are going to be making, and just sort of think, okay, you've got party packs here, brilliant. So again, make the mermaid one, make the iridescent sort of like the glittery packs and things like that. Yeah, I would just sort of revisit your categories and definitely list more products. Now, going back to the products section, what I would say as well is what's worked for my shop is I always have a bank of about 30 to 50. I know that sounds a lot, but 30 to 50 sort of, well, normally it's about 20 to 50 in all honesty, products in my draft section. So what I do is every day or every other day, I publish one of those products. Now, if you've watched any of my other critiques, I go through this in there as well. But basically, Etsy likes recency. They like to see that you're in your shop, you're listing things, etc, etc. So yeah, obviously if you are in your shop every day listing something new, meaning that you batch create things, you batch create listings, you put them in your draft section, and every day all you have to do is just go into it on the app on your phone and publish a listing. You don't have to go in every single day and physically go through the whole process of making a new listing. I hope that made sense. I went a really wacky way around trying to explain that. But essentially, my only issue is, now I say everything I say with love. I don't know what your shop is about. When I go into it, I don't know what your shop is all about. I'm not sure what your branding is. You have some beautiful products. I mean, these are darling, and I will go. In fact, I will open those up now, and I'll sort of go into those later on. But I don't really know. I mean, here we go. So you've got some lovely cake decorating bits and bobs. Now, if you were a shop that had, let's say, a cupcake here instead of the bird, and you know, you change your name or something, maybe to Little Bird Cake Decorations or something like that, or whatever. You obviously feel free to keep the name, you know, there's nothing wrong with that at all. But if I came into your shop and I saw, let's say from this bit down, okay, I would instantly be like, okay, she makes cupcake decorations. Wow, how cute is this? Whereas at the minute, I'm a customer coming into your shop and I'm not entirely sure what it is that you sell. I understand that there are probably lots of different things that you sell. You probably cut these from card or paper or something else or something like that. But, you know, you always have to make sure that you niche down and you accurately represent what your brand is about and what your shop is about. Now, this might become clear with the more items that you make. Obviously, with 35 items, it can be quite hard sometimes to, like, you know, create a image for your brand and for your shop. But I can see a lot of cake decorating bits and bobs here, and that is a fantastic niche. Like, just having a shop for cake toppers and things like that, honestly, fantastic. So your aesthetic of your shop is kind of what we've just talked about, but you need to know who your target market is. Now, I've talked about this in other shop critiques. I will absolutely be doing a video at some point on sort of how to get clues as to who your target market is. But your target market acts as like a base. Now, it's like building a house and not having a solid foundation. Knowing your target market is really the way to go, because if you know who you're aiming your products to, it will make it so much easier to make them. If you know on your social media who you're writing your posts for and why you're who you're taking your pictures for, then you know straight off the bat how to write and how to take the pictures. Maybe that might be something that you're missing out on. Maybe, you know, that could be something that you work on. Little tip is go onto your previous sales. So go onto your reviews and your customers. Have a little peek at their profiles. Do this on social media as well. See if you're seeing a pattern. Are they a certain age? Are they male or female? You know, and then you can kind of build a target customer image from that. And I do also recommend that if you sort of start getting a good idea as to who your target customer is, think of brick and mortar stores that are near you that have the same sort of target demographic, i.e. target market, and physically go into these stores, visit them, sit outside them, have a look and see what type of people go in, see what they buy, you know, just really get a feel for what your target market likes. And go onto your reviews now, which I know a lot of people always go, oh, don't do that, but it's fine. You have an overall 5 stars, so fuel 9. See, immediately, straight off the bat, I'm getting a lot better idea of what you're all about. All 5-star reviews, fantastic. That's amazing to see. I will go into detail about this later on, but customer images that are attached to reviews you can use as long as you ask them first. What you can do is you can use these for like Instagram, social media. What you could do is you could say, if you buy an item from me, tag me on social media of it being used, and I'll enter you into our monthly competition, or you get a discount code. And what that does is it actually builds social proof. So other people see that someone else has bought from you. So let's say Ashley here posts this on her social media. She tags you. Ashley's friends then sees that she's bought this item from you and that she loves it. Ashley's friend thinks, I'm making my son a birthday cake next week. I know, I'm going to go on to this shop that Ashley recommended and see what she has for sale. That's really how kind of social proof and the new word of mouth sort of goes, because many years, well, not actually many years ago, sort of 10, 20 years ago, word of mouth was where you physically went and told your friend. Now, word of mouth is very much social media. You know, your friend posts a picture of this on Facebook, you like the post, you know, you then ask your friend, what was that topper like? Oh yeah, it was really, really good. Here's the shop link. You know, that is very much how word of mouth sort of works now. So you've got flawless reviews, amazing. What I was going to say to you was that if you ever get a less than 5-star review, now obviously I don't wish on anyone, touch wood, I'm tapping my desk here right now, but the more you grow, you will get one. You will, not every transaction is going to be perfect, and sometimes people leave a 4-star review for nothing at all. I've had them before where they just say, the only reason I left a 4-star review was I didn't like the colour of the Jiffy bag. I've literally had that before. Literally, I've had that before. And, what can you do? I mean, I sort of messaged her and sort of said, well, I can send out another Jiffy bag, thinking it might have been gift wrapped in that bag. She said, oh, no, it just went in the bin. I just didn't like the colour. Honestly, some people are very funny with how they leave their reviews, and that's fine. It is up to them how they leave them. But the biggest thing for you is if you get a 3-star or less review, you can actually publicly respond. Now, I think you go onto your reviews on your back end of your shop, and there's a little button, I think, down here that says respond publicly. Now, please bear in mind that if you're wanting the customer to change it, i.e. if you're in contact with the customer to try and change that review, you can't do it if you respond publicly. So just make sure that, if there's nothing that you or the customer can do, then you'll feel free to publicly respond. Make sure that you respond in a really professional way, because believe me, as a shopper, I've been in shops before where the response has been awful, unprofessional. They've even swore at the customer in one of the shops that I was going to buy something in, but I didn't. And as a shopper, that just makes me click out of their shop, because I think, well, if they can't be professional in something this important, then God knows what they're like, with the items that they make. Obviously, this can completely not be true, but, as a customer, you're always looking for clues as to, what the transaction is going to be like. Your images is the next big thing. So, what I'm going to do is I am going to do a search. Now, I'm going to pick one of your products. So, let's go on to this one. This one looks interesting. Now, your picture is quite busy. I understand what you're going for, and this would be amazing as like an Instagram picture or as a second or third picture. But ideally, all I want to see, because obviously this glitter number 18 does blend into the background, but ideally as a customer scrolling through the hundreds and hundreds of search results that come back when I would type in this, all I want to see is, I'm just going to move my mouse, is that. So I only want the picture to be focused on the 18, much like what you've done here. But I really sort of want you to revisit some of your pictures and make sure that they are sort of really zoomed in on the actual items themselves. So my point was that I was going to type. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy that. I'm going to paste that. 18th birthday cake topper. And I'm just going to show you. So you've got 81 results. So not a lot of results, but you see what I mean about the pictures? Okay. Now, obviously yours is like a silvery, glittery colour. So this picture really attracts me. It's all about what pictures attract you, I guess. Bright, really nicely staged, quality photographs attract me, and I think would attract most people. This one attracts me, but again, I'm struggling to sort of see what that is. This picture attracts me because of the background of the greenery. This green colour is also really amazing for showing off any colour, because yeah, the sort of white glitter, silver glitter rather, would be really, really good here. So I think you probably get what I mean. Maybe retake your picture so it stands out some more. But you see, I'm scrolling and I'm scrolling and I'm scrolling, and you can sort of see the amount of pictures that there are. So let me just look at my notes ever so quickly. So I've also put here, do they show what the item actually is? Now, again, with these, I love these. I think these are amazing. Really, really fantastic product. But again, because it's a silver present and, you know, this kind of, you've also got your old shipping dates in there. Make sure that you update them, because obviously customers that come into your shop might feel a little bit like, she hasn't been in our shop since obviously December, so she's obviously not very active in our shop. Just make sure you get those out of there as soon as you can. Yeah, I would maybe take, now let me, custom Christmas gift tags. Now also as well, you don't have to just have these for Christmas, you can also make these for birthday gifts and all that sort of stuff as well, but I'll get into that later on. But as you can see, this picture is beautiful. If you could stage your pictures like this on like a really sort of, you can tell that the background in this picture is all relatively one colour, it all blends into one. The tag is what stands out. See, this picture I'm not attracted to, it's too dark. It's way too dark. So that would be a lovely picture if it was just lightened up a smidge. That's a nice picture. That attracts me a lot. If you could stage your pictures like that, amazing, 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 amazing. And like that, I think that's the same shop. But you see, what I mean about this is that this shop has actually developed their own photography style, and that is what I want you to do. I want you to use a similar, so this is where your branding comes in. You pick 2 to 3 colours that you want your brand, you can go away, there we go, that you want your brand to be. You use those colours, you keep those colours in your mind for your product photography, for your background colours, everything like that. And what I want you to do is to develop, a photography style like what these guys have. You know, I bet if I was to go onto their shop, a lot of their pictures would be similar sort of styles. See, and they're not even cut out, they're just stamped on, you know. But see, look at their shop. Look at their shop. They are, immediately you come in and go, oh, this is very vintagey, very cutesy, and oh yes, look, here's all the beautiful tags. Look at the signs. Look at the categories here, and look at the amount of items that this shop has. All of this shop's pictures are amazing, and I want you to have yours the same. Not obviously the same as this, but I want you to develop your own photography style. These guys are very vintage. You've got a lot of burlap, a lot of card, a lot of sort of doilies, white flowers, lace. I've got some petals in here. Beautiful, beautiful pictures. And you can do the same. If you're unsure, have a look on YouTube, you know, just develop your product photography skills. We're all walking around with these smartphones that have amazing cameras. In fact, a lot of people don't believe me, but I film all of my videos with my iPhone 6s Plus camera. What matters is the lighting. I make sure that my lighting is bang on, and I make sure that the camera can pick up me. And the more lighting that you have, and natural lighting is amazing, the better. Also, going on your pictures as well, there are collab groups and things where you send items to photographers in exchange for a picture to be taken. Now, I've had good and bad experiences with collab groups, but they are definitely worth exploring if you don't have a photography budget, or if you're wanting to just outsource the job to someone else. Also, paying a photographer may not be as expensive as you think, and they will 10x your sales, because people can't touchy-feely your products. You know, they can't physically pick them up and appreciate the beauty of them. So make sure that your pictures do that for them. Right, just looking on my notes here, bear with me. Oh, also just a quick other note on modelled pictures, your listing pictures. Modelled shots are fantastic as well. Now, you've really sort of done this here with the cupcake toppers. I love that, by the way, so funny. But maybe having like a little girl holding these up, maybe holding the garland up or something like that. Modelled shots, seeing people holding pieces up, honestly, it does increase your conversion rate. I think it's just because people like to see human faces. I don't know. But yeah, it does. It really does sort of go a long, long way. So I think I've talked about listing images enough. Now, the next thing I want to tackle is your pricing. Now, psychology pricing, it's not a new thing. I'm sure you've been into a shop before where you've seen something, let's just take this, and it's turned out to be £4.99. There's a reason why they do that. It's purely because people will immediately see that and see the big number here and go, oh, it's £4, and ignore the 99 pence on the end. Do you know what? I would experiment with this. I would maybe change a couple of your listings to, like, for example here, £4.99 or 95. I would change that to £3.49, £5.99. I think you'd see an increase in your conversion rate. There's lots of studies done on this. If you fancy having a little read through, Google it. They have so many studies. Also, you are including free delivery, which I always recommend. Your items are quite small. Add on the postage to this price here and put free delivery. The reason being is this, and I will show you. Custom Christmas gift tag. Let's just go back to that original search that we did. So it yields 8,638 results. That is a lot. And I've done searches before where it's literally been 150,000 results. And there are searches that are more than that. But this button here and this button here are where I want your attention to go, okay? On the Etsy app, these are a lot more prominent. They're a lot more in your face. So if I click that, as a shopper, I probably would because I'm stingy like that. Do you know what? It immediately wipes out nearly 7,000 results. So now it basically gets rid of all the search results that don't have free shipping. So obviously because yours does, yours will be included in this search somewhere. There we go. It's there. So that's why, see, just doing that means that your product is now ranked on page 1 just by clicking that, which, do you know what? A lot of people do. A lot of people do. The next step of this is, now this is probably more important. Now, this is something that I've done on my shop. I've permanently had a 10% off sale. I've increased my prices and I've put a 10% off sale on in my shop. Why? I'll show you. So you click on that, and it then does free UK delivery, which I do in my shop as well, and obviously you do, and on sale. Do you know what? That cuts that down again to 323 results. But you know what? Yours won't be included because you haven't got the 10% off sale. That is a big deal. Also, just off topic, that is a nice picture. That is what I mean by modelled shots. So anyway, I think you kind of sort of get what I mean, but also see that shop that I pointed out before, that's there. And I'm not saying you have to you have to make less money, you have to reduce your profit margins, increase your prices to, account for on sale and things like that. So I think you maybe sort of get what I mean by that, but use every so often, do a search as if you were a customer and see what they've changed. Etsy seems to be in a period of transition. And all of this, so the special offers is above categories. What does that tell you? That says that this is clicked on probably more than this and probably more than this. Shop location is, we had a little bit of a blip with that where UK shops automatically were showing results from the UK. I don't see that happening here anymore. So I don't know if that's a thing anymore, but I think you get what I mean. So yeah, let's move on. So let's go back to your listings. Now, just a quick one. I know I keep doing this. Just a quick one talking about your pictures again. I don't know what this is. I know it says it here and I get that, but lots of customers are visual and, I didn't know what this was. If you show it on a wall, if you show it being hung up, I mean, that's beautiful. But I just think your pictures, maybe letting the side down just a little smidge. You've got your papers in there. So if you showed that on a wall, so I'll show you again what I mean. I will go Christmas garlands. I cannot spell for the life of me today. Oh my goodness. I've done a few shop critiques and every single one I spelled something wrong. So here we go. You see also good product idea. Love the verticals. But you see what I mean. They show the item being hung up. They show it being used. That attracts me. I love that. And it's really quite a simple thing to do as well. That is amazing. If you can do something like that, beautiful. And look, you know, 1650. Love that. Anyway, and even something like that as well, where you just show parts of it. You know, if it's too big and you think, oh, I really can't fit it all in, then only take a picture of a little smidgen. Anyway, so yeah, that sort of tackles the pictures. I'm not going to say any more about your pictures now, I promise. SEO. Right. I'm just going to let's go on to that, and let's just have a good little look as to... I think... I'm not an SEO expert. A large part, see, I wouldn't be doing this. I wouldn't be putting like one word, comma. The main thing about Etsy is that you have to find keyword phrases. Now, phrases are between 2 to 3 to 4 words long. And the reason of that is that it's the long tail keywords. I'm sure you've probably heard this. If you're in Etsy groups and things like that, you've probably heard this. But essentially what that means is that you are going for an exact match. So for example, if I typed in 18th, see again, I spelt that wrong. 18th birthday. So there's people searching for 18th birthday. Basically, you want to see what auto-populates. And if nothing pops up, do the search. See what other shops are doing. 18th birthday cake topper. Yeah, you kind of get the idea. Just go into other people's shops and see what they're using as their keywords. But let me just go back to your... There we go. So, long tail keywords are best. Don't keyword stuff your titles. Etsy has said that shorter titles that are readable are better. I'm not saying you don't have to use all of the space that Etsy provides you, but rather than doing 18, centerpiece, cake decoration, maybe just try and do 2 to 3 phrases separated with commas. See this, no, I don't think anyone is typing in 18th birthday, cake topper, 18th. You might have missed that comma in there, but see, if your comma isn't in there, Etsy just assumes that's all one phrase, so just be careful with that. Test out things in your shop. Copy this listing and change the keywords and the tags. In fact, I'm just going to scroll down to your tags. Do you know what? I think your tags are okay. These are all things I would probably use. But take some of these. I would do if this was my listing, now don't obviously quote me on this. I am not an SEO expert, but what I am an expert in is testing and making sure that you see how things work for you before you're calling it a fact, if you like. But what I would do is I would 18th birthday cake topper, 18th birthday decor, 18th birthday party decorations, and I would leave it at that. Make sure as well that your title is in your tags, because I think that is still a thing. I think still copying and pasting your title in your tags still works. But also, exact matches of these phrases always do better in search. And I have seen this for myself. But again, anything that I'm saying, or do you know what? Anything that anyone says, if people are saying that they are an expert on Etsy SEO and they know exactly how the SEO, how Etsy SEO works, I'd be extremely skeptical, because not one person knows exactly how the SEO works on Etsy. Purely because if everybody knew how it worked, exactly how it worked, there would be no point in trying to rank. Everyone would be on page 1. It just wouldn't work. So make sure you test things out for your shop, and it will take time. You'd have to probably copy this, do what I said, leave it for at least 30 days before you can judge it. And I think a lot of people maybe sort of lose their patience, go back in a week later and change it. That's my next point, is don't change your SEO too often. It can take about 30 days for Etsy to rank your changes in your listing. So obviously if you're going in every week and changing it, that then gets wiped and it starts again from scratch. Off the back of that, don't change listings that are performing well, because obviously of the same thing, you don't want to change a listing that's doing well, make it worse, and then you lose your views and sales for that particular item. Delivery times. Okay. As a shopper, I would be put off by this. Now, I know there is a little option, isn't there, on your shipping to tick. You're not sure how long it's going to take. I would change this. I really would. People want to know, we're living in an Amazon world now where there's Prime, next day dispatch, all this sort of thing. I would put something in there. The less time it takes to prepare, the better. But I understand that being a handmade shop, that is hard to kind of predict. Even if you put 1 to 2 weeks in there, at least that gives people some kind of idea. Now I know you've got in here that contact the shop. Do you know what? I would hazard a guess that 50% of people that are interested in your item read this and they will not contact you because they need the item. This item is for a birthday. Chances are people are probably shopping maybe a week to 2 weeks before the actual party itself. And if you've got that, they are going to be put off. So I would 100% recommend changing that, at least putting some kind of time frame in there. We've talked about free postage. So now I am going to go into your About section. Now again, I like these. See, these are the pictures that I want to see. I love this picture. Shop updates. I'm going to leave your About section just for a second. Shop updates. Now, shop updates are a really undervalued aspect of Etsy. Basically, all of these people that have favorited your shop or favorited an item or something like that, when you post a shop update, it will actually come up on their Etsy homepage, and honestly, it brings your shop back up to their attention, because as you've probably done as well, is you've favorited a shop, you've carried on with life, and you have genuinely forgotten about it. So what happens is that when you post a shop update, it brings it back up to their attention. Now I try, and at the minute it's kind of hard for me to kind of gauge because we're so busy at the minute. We're moving, the shop has just exploded, but not literally, I mean sales wise. But I try and post at least once a week on Etsy shop updates, and you will be ahead of the game because a lot of shops don't do this. I think probably one shop that I have critiqued so far actually does this on a regular basis. So if that gives you any indication as to how underused this aspect is, yeah, that probably gives you a good idea. Your About section. I'm just going to have a little sip of my drink because my throat is so sore. Apologies if I start losing my voice. Your About section. Now, this section is what brings value, okay? This section is essentially what differentiates you from big box stores. So this answers the question when people say, why wouldn't I just go to Clinton's or Sainsbury's or Asda's and buy like party stuff there? It's this section that answers that question. The more you have in this section, the better, the more value that your products have. Now, I see you don't have pictures. Please consider putting in pictures. Show people your machines, show people your workspace, show people how you store your papers or your fabrics or your other crafting bits. Really just show people behind the scenes, and that will add more value. Do you know what? Having a picture of you sat at either your dining room table or your desk or your craft room or wherever you make your products, having someone, a family member or a partner or something like that, or a friend, take a picture of you making these items, actually physically doing it with your hands, that will add so much value. I promise this will make a big difference. So you do craft parties. That's interesting. That's a very creative way. I like that. I like that. You should explore that more. That is amazing. So I think you get the idea. You have kind of touched upon it. Maybe just add a little bit more detail. But also, so many people are visual learners, if you like. So just having pictures in there would really, you know, it would serve you very, very well. I am going to go into your socials now. Now you've got 2, which is absolutely fine. I always say, you know, have 1 or 2 that you are really comfortable with. 48 people like you. Fantastic. Takes a while to load because of the software that I'm using, which is very infuriating at times. There we go. Are we loaded? We are loaded. Okay. Oh, I like this post. Just reading this. I like this a lot. And look at the engagement that you're getting. Now, I would always say, do you know what? I'm getting a better idea of your branding on your Facebook page. All very pastel, all very girly, all very glittery. That's the sort of, wow, look at these. Wow. I'm excited for you because wedding season, if you put more wedding products in your shop and you take lovely stage pictures like this, you are going to be inundated with sales, sister. 100%. 100%. Does that say London sucks? Do you know what? I am not very good at reading, like, what's it called? Scroll text. I made, funny story, I made a office sign for my new office. And I was really, really proud of it. I printed it out, and when I went back to it the next morning and I glanced up at the sign, it looked like it said something else. I'm not going to repeat it because it was rude, but it was so funny. But no, that is nice. I like that paper too, kind of iridescent. That is awesome. Okay, so what I always say on Facebook is that you've got some good people and you've got some good engagement here as well. Post as many times as you can. So at least probably once a day. Once every other day I think is fine. If you are struggling, you can use a scheduling software. I use this, and there's a free plan. And I searched high and low for this sort of thing, and I found it. So I'm going to share it with you now. So see here, I did upgrade to this one purely because I was posting to Facebook twice a day. But see, on their free plan, you have 30 posts, and you can also do Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest if you have them. But they have a free plan that you can use to schedule in your posts. And do you know what? It doesn't even have to be pictures of your products. It can be customer images. It can be funny memes and things, you know, like what you've done here. Funny memes and little things like that your target market likes. You can even share things from different groups and things like that. So just posting every single day means that you are always in these people's feeds and that they remember you. You also have Insta. Fantastic. Well done for that. Fantastic. Is this you? Nice to put a face to a name. Hello. I do like your top, by the way, and also those flowers. Beautiful. I think you're doing very well on Instagram, to be honest with you. How often are you posting? 5 hours ago? 3 days ago? Try and post every day if you can. 6 days ago. You know, you're not doing awful. I'm going to follow you. You're not doing awful or anything like that, but just maybe try and post every day. This software will probably help you because you can schedule out your posts. Are you using different, so you're not using a lot of hashtags? Yeah. Do you know what? I think using hashtags would definitely increase your engagement on Instagram. A little trick, I can never remember the name of it, Instavast, here we go. Little trick, this is what I use. Now you go on to Instavast and you go on to here. And let's take a picture, for example. Let's go on to this. And let's just type in wedding wedding cake. This might take a while, it's being very slow. Oh, it's very quick, jolly good. So essentially, this gives you so many hashtag ideas. Now, I'd always recommend aiming for hashtags that are under 200,000 posts or popularity or less. So under 200,000 is where you want to be. And these hashtags will work for you. Make sure you only select those that are relevant to your posts. But honestly, if you put more hashtags in posts like that, I think you could get more followers and more engagement. Also, so I won't go into the socials a lot because this would be 2.5 hours long. That's how long have I been going for? 20 minutes. That's not bad at all. That's not bad. So my other little thing that I always do is I always sort of say, are you on the back end of things? Are you making sure that the customer experience from when they find your product to when they add it to their basket, from when they buy, etc., etc., are you making sure that it's as seamless as possible? So a good way to think of this is that when a customer places an order with you, are you sending them, because you have that little automatic message that you can do in Etsy. I can't remember where it is actually. Basically, I think it's in the shipping settings. You can send them a message automatically when they purchase. I would 100%, if you're not doing that, do that, because it just makes sure that you reassure the customer right from the get-go. And customers like to have reassurance, especially from shops that they haven't ordered from before. Right. The last, I'm just making sure I haven't missed anything, because I'm shocked that this hasn't gone on for an hour, because I feel like I've talked, although I have talked a lot more in this one. Images, reviews. Okay, so the last little bit that I like to do on shop critiques is this. I like to give you product ideas. Now, feel free to tell me to stuff these, because you are the creator. You own your business. You make what you want to make. But sometimes it's useful to kind of get the creative juices flowing from someone who is not in your business, from some fresh eyes perspective. So I've got a few product ideas for you. Now, obviously, you don't have to make these. This is just purely from my sort of view. These, can you get thicker cardstock? Because if you can make these into like Christmas decorations and things like that. I do like the labels. I think they're so cute. I must say, I was immediately attracted to this, and yeah. If you can get thicker cardstock, you can actually make these so that they hang on the Christmas tree, and these are so cute. Also, if you can do like smaller discs of these, you can actually make like a family tree garland or something like that, where you have mum's name, dad's name, 3 kids' names, the dog's name, the cat's name. Have like a My Family Christmas garland or something like that. I think that would work really, really well. All in all, you do a lot of personalised items. Can you do personalised in these little cupcake toppers or something like that? Also, another thing as well is the wedding aspect of things. Wedding place cards, wedding menu holders, wedding garlands, wedding. If you're quiet in the summer, weddings is a fantastic way to keep business up, because a lot of people get married in the summer, and all this sort of stuff is definitely what they'll be looking for. So yeah, I hope that helped you. Please feel free to message me or put any comments or any points or any thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for letting me critique your shop. And Susie, I love your shop. I think you'll go very, very far. To the rest of you out there watching, I love you guys very, very much. Feel free to subscribe if you haven't already, and I shall see you guys very, very soon. Bye bye.